r/Nosleep, posted by Reddit user Lucien_3211234. I have 2 footsteps to live. I liked games as a kid. Not sports or anything. I hated going outside. Hell, I still do. I preferred staying indoors, watching TV and drawing. But most of all, I loved games. Remember those sleepover games? That was it. Bloody Mary, Three Kings, Charlie Charlie. I was obsessed. I invited friends over all the time to play with. Everyone I knew had chickened out at least once, but not me. Nothing was too scary for me when Ouija boards answered. Didn't flinch, didn't concentrate. I was the brave one. I tried to get scared. One night it worked. Someone else found this game. For the sake of anonymity, I'll call her Anne. I was at her house, celebrating her birthday with some friends. I was in her basement, sitting on a bedroll. My friends scattered around the room. We talked, we laughed, we ate junk food. Looking back, I feel regret. That was the last time I'd be happy. At about 11, the birthday girl came downstairs. She carried a bag of chips. Her eyes were sparkling with a look that I knew well. She had a game to play. I sat up on the mattress. Anne scurried down the stairs and sat on a blanket. She bit down on a smile, and I felt a thrill of anticipation. The other girls quieted. It was time for our favorite part of the night. Have you guys ever played Witch and the Maid? I snorted. What kind of name is that? Seriously, it's really cool. Anne put down the bag of chips. We should play it. Alright, so how do we play? Another girl asked. Anne smiled, loving the attention. I don't blame her. I'd been in her shoes more than once. She closed her eyes after a dramatic pause. Anne pointed to me with a shaking finger. You, she whispered. I rolled my eyes but came over and sat down. Anne pulled my head to her lap. Oh, I looked up and grinned. Wow, Anne, I didn't know you felt that way. Oh my God, stop, Anne groaned, but she was smiling. You're killing the mood. I settled my head back down. Whatever you say. Alright. Anne's legs moved as she cleared her throat. Here's how we play. The game requires a minimum of 2 people. It's preferred they're women, but it works for others as well. 1. The witch covers the maid's ears. The witch then has to say their biggest secret out loud. Obviously the maid wouldn't normally hear it. However, the game lets us hear certain syllables. Those syllables form part of a demon's name. I yawned, cutting Am off. And then we die, right? Not exactly, she said. It's a time limit on when you'll die. I raised my eyebrow. This was new. The more of the name you hear, the less time you have. Anne shifted her legs, getting more comfortable. For example, 1 syllable is 1,000,000 steps. I craned my neck to look up at her. And the whole name? Then you just die on the spot. Ooh, sounds fun. I settled my head into her lap. Let's go. I could almost feel Anne's eyes roll. Well, geez, fine. Her hands went over my ears. At first, there was nothing. Just indistinct mumbling. I was about to call bullshit. Ta. I almost sat up. Fucking what? It was as clear as if she had spoken it in my ear. I looked up, suspecting a trick. All I saw was Anne's chin moving. I settled back down, Her hand must have slipped. Wah. Okay. So it did work. Move anymore. I was satisfied that some kind of weird science was in this. There always was. Hallucination in Bloody Mary, wind in Charlie Charlie. It was simple. I relaxed, waiting for the next syllables. Ki se die. And then, her hands went off my ears. I sat up. Anne watched me eagerly. Well? She asked. I shrugged. 5, I guess. I scratched my neck. How much time, Doc? Anne sighed. Not time. Steps. Anyways. She thought for a second. You have 20 steps. I put my hand to my chest in mock horror. Oh no. Looks like I'm gonna need a wheelchair. Shut up, Anne snorted. Anyway, who's next? Everyone was eager to participate. Respectively, they got 50, 80, and 20. The last one gave me a fist bump over having the same number. Then it was Anne's turn. Alright, I got this, I said, patting my lap. Come here. Anne groaned. I don't want to get up. You're not the one with 20 steps left, I mocked. Anne laughed and came over. Once we were settled, I covered her ears. Right, a secret. Well, when I was 8, I wanted a cookie. I started. The girls laughed. They were on the shelf, so I That made me stop. When I'd said ta, it didn't sound like me. I looked up. Nobody seemed to have noticed. I swallowed but kept going. I tackled the shelf, which wasn't a good idea. It felt like it nearly killed me. I stopped again. The girls watched me. Go on, one said. Right, I said. I started crying and said, Mom, help, I'm gonna die. I took a second to clear my throat. I had reached the limit of syllables. She came running, and I was so scared, because I had thought she'd kill me. I winced. I was hitting a lot of syllables. So I pretended to be dead. Me. The girls laughed. Oh no, you poor baby, one said. I smiled weakly. Anne sat up, taking my hands from her ears. She grinned. Wow, 10 syllables, she counted, then threw up her hands. Whoop, I'm gonna die. The other girls immediately clamored. Wait, how many steps? I asked. Dread was growing in my stomach. I guessed the number of syllables correctly. 5. If I have to pee, I'm doomed, Anne laughed. I went white. Anne, don't think. Her face lit up. Oh, am I gonna die? She stood up and dramatically took a step. Look, I'm throwing my life away. She took 3 more steps. I grabbed her leg. Anne, stop, I pleaded. I'd never been that scared. This isn't fun anymore. She kicked my hand, laughing. Not for you, maybe. She pivoted one foot, lifted the other. Step. Blood spewed from her mouth. Within seconds, we were all covered in it. It was still warm, metallic, red. Someone screamed. We were all marked for death. The girl I'd fist bumped earlier, the one with 20, used her steps running upstairs for help. Her blood poured back down like a river. The one with 50 made it upstairs, but she only managed to scare Anne's mother before her steps were up. The poor woman got covered. 80 was smarter. She who saved her steps for the cop car. Sadly, she didn't make it much further than that. Me? The cops found me crying downstairs, covered in blood and refusing to walk. I had to be carried to the cruiser. As a matter of fact, I had to be carried everywhere. The baffled doctors put it down to shock. They explained the others' deaths as sudden illnesses. I didn't tell them the truth. Now, I really do have a wheelchair. 20 years have passed. In that time, I've taken 18 accidental steps, spent the rest avoiding walking. Over time, I've gotten used to it. Still, there's one thing I can't adjust to. I can't accept the fear. I don't want to live like this anymore. Consider this a suicide note. I don't have anyone to miss me, so all should be well. I just hope my legs can still support me. Still, before I go, you have to promise me something. Count your steps.